up, everyone? I feel like I'm very out of practice when it comes to YouTube right now. It has been 8 weeks since I posted my last vlog. I can't wait to get into regular vlogs again because I miss all of you guys. I actually enjoy making YouTube vlogs, so I hope that you enjoy this vlog. It's going to be a very casual one of me talking through all things competing. So you'll either hear because you are searching on YouTube for tips for competing or first competition, or maybe I just sent you here from my Instagram and my other social media channels. I hope that this vlog helps you. It's going to be very real. I'm going to answer a few questions you guys have sent me about competing. I'm going to tell you exactly how I felt post-comp. It's just solely a comp video, so I hope it helps you whether you've competed before or you're looking to compete. I'm going to run through a few things, and yeah, as always, I hope you do enjoy the vlog, and remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile. Okay, so I thought that I would first explain a few things about what federation I competed in and what made me want to compete in things. So if you look at my last 2 videos, you'll see that I did compete in the WBFF. It was over in Gold Coast, Australia. I entered the Bikini Diva category. So the idea of that is that they're looking at your overall presentability as well as your overall physique. So they're looking at your hair, your makeup, your tan, how you present yourself on stage. So your stage presence, whether your heels are matching your bikini, and then you have a dress round as well. And they're also looking at the shape of your body and the proportions and things like that. So it is a very glamorous federation. Not all federations are like this. A lot of the other ones will have clear heels. You don't get to wear sparkly heels or anything. And it's less focused on the glamour side of competing, I guess. So for me, I chose WBFF for a few reasons. I chose it because I had seen and met Rachel, my coach, who's a WBFF pro. I absolutely loved the way her body looks. I loved her attitude. I loved her business mind. And I just thought that her mindset and her goals really aligned with mine as well. And so from that, I thought, oh, you know what, I'm going to talk to her about competing. So I spoke to her. I looked at all the other WBFF pros online and on social media, and I just loved the way they trained and the way they looked, and I thought, you know what, this is kind of the federation I want to do. I also looked at the New Zealand federation. So of course around the world there are a lot of different federations, and it's very important to choose one that you think aligns with your morals and things. So in New Zealand there are a few different federations. There's natural ones, there's non-natural ones. I'm not going to go and list any of the federations, but there are certain federations that I definitely would never go near, and that's just because of my own morals and what I've heard about them, and it just didn't interest me. So I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to compete in New Zealand. I'll look at the WBFF. There's 3 a year on this side of the world, I think, so that's 2 in the Gold Coast and 1 in Sydney. I saw that there was 1 in the Gold Coast 15 weeks from the day that I decided I kind of wanted to compete. So I messaged Rachel. I said, you know, will you be my coach? We locked it in for the Gold Coast May show this year, and I never looked back. So WBFF was for me, and stepping on that stage and that show day was absolutely magical. I had the best day. So on the Friday night, you have an introductory kind of evening. You get to meet all the pros, you take photos, you meet all the other competitors. The WBFF judges are there, and the guy that actually started WBFF is there, and they talk all about how the WBFF encourages a family environment. There's no cattiness backstage. It's like frowned upon to have a competitive environment backstage. So of course everyone there wants to do well on the day, but it's not about being better than everyone on stage. It's about bringing your best package to the stage, and that was awesome. Like on the day, girls had issues with their bikinis, other girls would help do them up. If someone dropped something, they'd pick it up. You know, it was a very polite backstage, and I absolutely loved it. I met so many good friends from there, and I couldn't have chosen a better federation for my first competition. And if I do compete again, it would definitely be in the WBFF. So that's I guess about the federation that I competed in. But one of the questions I had was, how did I choose what federation to compete in? So I think it's very important to look at the dates, and very important to look at the types of physiques that they have, because there's different categories. You've got bikini, you've got physique, there's fitness model classes and things. So just choose kind of the category that you're interested in looking most like, and then look at the federations. Like, some people only compete in natural ones, but you can totally compete in a competition that's not tested and just go natural. Like, I will personally never ever take any steroids or anything like that, and I didn't feel like there was any need to or any pressure to whatsoever to compete in the WBFF Bikini Diva. And I personally am very proud of how I looked when I stepped on stage. Do I have any advice for the first step? I just don't know where to start. Make sure that you're already living a healthy lifestyle and that you have a good, healthy relationship with food. So if your goal is to compete because you think that it's magically going to help solve all your body image issues, and think that if you lean down and you compete that you're going to be happy with how you look and you're going to have a better relationship with food, then you couldn't be like more wrong, really. I think it's very important to make sure that you're feeding your body with good foods, you've been training for a while, maybe like a year or two at least, and that you feel confident in your own skin, the way you look now, but you want to improve yourself. So don't go into competing thinking, I'm going to be the best person on that stage, I'm going to win. Because I mean, like, I turned up to the competition, there was 60 girls and everyone looked amazing. So you can't control what everyone else is going to look like, what the judges are going to think. You can only control the hard work that you put in for the weeks before the show, and how you look on the day, and how you present yourself on that stage. Where to start? I would say make sure that you have a healthy relationship with food, you're training really well, you're feeding your body good foods, you have a positive view of yourself, and a strong reason for why. My why was that I wanted to challenge myself, and I was hoping that me pushing myself would show all of you that you can achieve what you've set your mind out to do. For me, being a massive foodie, competing was a very big thing. So I'm glad that I did it, and I'm glad that it did inspire so many of you to want to compete, or to not even want to compete, but to want to have a transformation. After you've decided why you want to compete, you've been training for a while, you're living a healthy lifestyle, choose a coach that aligns with you. Don't choose a coach that's going to have you doing endless amounts of cardio and get you overtraining like crazy and under eating and things. You have to find a coach that actually cares about your health in the long term. The reason why I chose Rachel was because she straight up said to me when I went to her, I don't care if you're not the leanest girl on stage, but I want you to be healthy in the long run. And that was amazing to me. She didn't care about me like winning or getting a placing. She just cared that I was healthy, I was happy, and I was going onto that stage feeling good, and I definitely was. It was an amazing experience. Just thinking about it makes me happy. Using my hands a lot in this video. Would you say that competing has helped you improve as a gym person / bodybuilder? Has it given you more incentive to train? I never thought that this would happen. Like, I thought I was very motivated as it was. I didn't think that competing would change anything for me, really. I just thought it would push me a little bit more on my nutrition side. And to be honest, when you lock in a day and you've paid for a bikini, heels, flights, accommodation, and entry to a competition, and you know that there's no backing out, you're stepping on a stage in X amount of days, when you're in the gym and you're about to give up at 10 reps when you know you should be doing 12 reps, you will not stop at 10 reps. Whereas when I'm not competing, I just stop at 10 reps, like, oh, I'm tired, I'm done. But the thought of just competing and stepping on that stage, knowing that there's going to be so many people looking at you, makes you want to keep going. So I definitely trained harder for the competition than I ever had previously before. It just took me to the next level, and I absolutely loved my training sessions. I had Pete helping me like once, sometimes twice a week for training my glutes and my hamstrings, and it was the first time I'd ever really trained my glutes. I think that competing just gives you a next level motivation for sure. I follow recent newbie competitors, and it seems they don't know how to handle gaining weight after comp. One girl looks amazing but posted a video of squeezing her skin, saying that she needs to stop eating so many sweets. How do you find balance after? With restrictions, is your metabolism messed up, and is your psyche messed up when it comes to food and body image? My post-competition was a nightmare. I cannot stress this enough for you guys. If you are going to compete, post-competition is harder than pre-competition. I'm not the only one to say this. I've spoken to heaps of other girls that did the same competition as me, the same class as me, and they felt the same, whether it was their first competition, their second, their third, their fourth. Post-competition is hard. When you go from dieting for 16 weeks, or some people even 20 weeks or more, to not having a solid goal in place, it is very hard to control yourself. So what you're supposed to do after a competition is, you know, maybe have like a cheat meal or a cheat day, and then straight away the next day, get on top of your macros, counting again and slowly increasing your calories. That is a lot easier said than done. I knew what I needed to do and I did not do it. And although I want to regret how I was for the last 7 weeks or so, maybe even 8 weeks, I don't regret it because I've learned so much more, and I hope that I can help more of you on your journeys, because I've been through everything from finishing the competition to binging like crazy to talking negatively to myself inside my head, just crazy things in terms of nutrition and my body, and it's just not been healthy whatsoever. And if I could stress anything to you guys, if you are looking to compete, make sure you have a coach to hold yourself accountable to help you with your nutrition and your training after the competition ends. I wish that I had stayed with Rachel after my competition, but I didn't. I went to Hawaii, I went crazy traveling, I went back home, I just ate so much food. I didn't really track. I said negative things to myself, I binge ate. I would be sad about this, and I was sad about this first, but then I realized like it's shaping me. All these experiences are shaping me for the next thing. This is just another challenge that I've hit. A little fork, a little bump in the road, and I'm learning from it, and I now understand what it's like to binge to the point where you feel sick, to binge to the point where you just can't stop and you keep going, and I understand what that's like, and I know what a lot of people have gone through. And then when it comes to weight gain, oh my, to see yourself going from, you know, say 59 kilos on stage to 54 to 55 to 56 kilos after a competition, it obviously plays with your mind. And I know that's not just girls, it's guys as well. Post-competition is very challenging, and if I could give you any piece of advice, it would be to have a coach for after your competition. Set another goal, and don't have it be weight related. Have it be something else to stay size small in the clothing that you are. For me, it's to stay size small in my Gymshark clothing. It's to get stronger. It's to build my glutes and hamstrings and really positive things. I want to feel strong, I want to feel healthy, and it's not to do with me staying X amount of kilos. It's about putting on muscle, it's about finding my balance and being able to go out with friends and eat good foods and being able to train without feeling like I have to overdo the cardio or just spend hours in the gym. Finding that balance is very important after a competition. No one will really understand what you go through apart from you, and it's very hard. And although people might say that you look great, it doesn't mean anything unless you believe it. So you'll notice that on my social media channels, I haven't actually posted a recent photo of me in a sports bra really. I've just been posting some old photos. Oh, got myself in the eye. I've just been posting some old photos till I feel fully comfortable, and I finally this week got it on track and started feeling a lot better about myself. I am working on it. Just want you to know that it's not easy, and I do appreciate all of your support, and I hope that I can support you on your journeys, because I have definitely been through a lot with this competition prep, the comp itself, and then post-competition. What are your thoughts on holistic health coaches that preach wellness yet compete in bikini competitions? This question, I'm guessing, is kind of not taking a dig, but kind of aiming it at people that promote a healthy lifestyle but then compete, because a lot of comp coaches are not healthy. They don't promote a healthy lifestyle balance. And for me, Anjuli Fit for Life is based around being fit mentally and physically. So this means like feeding your body good foods, going to the gym because you love it, or exercising outside because you enjoy it, and then also feeding your mind good things, so educating it, self-love and all of that. I think that you can definitely compete healthily. I understand that the few weeks around competition, so maybe the last 3 weeks of competing, is not necessarily healthy. You may be on lower calories than you would ideally like. You may be on higher cardio than you may like, but a good coach will ensure that you are on the highest amount of calories right up until your competition and in good shape. There is no reason for you to be starving yourself leading up to competition. So for me, my lowest amount of calories pre-comp were what some girls eat every single day. Rachel got my calories up before we actually started leaning me down. There's nothing wrong with competing. I think it's an amazing thing to do, but it's just very important to make sure that you get a coach that is going to look after you and that knows what they're doing. There is no need for you to be spending, 2 hours on a treadmill plus a weight session every single day. Absolutely no reason. And do I think that's healthy? No, I do not think it's healthy whatsoever. In my comp prep, I did not spend more than 2 hours in the gym each day, and that's a maximum. It was pretty much just an hour each day, and some days I might have to go back and do like a HIIT session outside or in the gym. That might be an extra 20 minutes or so. You don't need to spend hours in the gym to reach your goals, but you do need to spend hours in the kitchen because cutting pumpkin takes forever. I'd love to hear your insight as to the whole mind and body image and how you associate with food post-comp. So this is very similar to other questions I've already answered. Post-competition, you kind of just lose control, and again, you need to have a goal in place. I found it very hard to stay away from processed foods after comp. For the last 7 to 8 weeks, I have been having processed foods again, and it's only this week that I started to taper off on them and just stick to feeding my body with cleaner foods. And by that, I mean foods that I actually understand the ingredients to. So carbs coming from quinoa, sweet potato, pumpkin, oats, and then my fats coming from salmon, eggs, coconut oil, avocado, and then my proteins coming from lean red meat, chicken, my whey shakes as well from EHP Labs, egg whites, and any plant-based proteins I can get in as well. Am I still counting macros? I am now. For the last 8 weeks, I kind of was, but not really at all. So yes, I am still counting macros. Someone also asked me what supplements I'm taking. My supplements now post-comp are exactly the same as the supplements I've taken pretty much my whole journey. I've been taking EHP Labs for the last few years. Oxygen, acetyl L-carnitine, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. It's a fat burner, it helps boost my mood, it boosts my energy. I don't drink coffee, so it's a perfect replacement. I take my Beyond BCAAs and glutamine during my workout. And pre-comp for the last month, I wasn't allowed any whey proteins, but now I'm back on ISOPEP post-workout and Oxy Whey in my oats or just in smoothies and things. I will always take EHP Lab supplements. I love them. They're just part of my daily lifestyle, and it is important to find that healthy lifestyle before you decide that you're going to compete. Comp prep was just a goal. So comp was just a little stepping stone along the way to my end goal, and my end goal is to be happy, healthy, and strong. So competing was just a part of that, really. Did I cheat on prep? I'd be lying if I said I didn't cheat on prep. I'm not going to tell you that it's easy. There will be days when you don't want to go to the gym. There'll be days when you feel like crying. There'll be days when you overeat, days where you might undereat. I pretty much never undereat, but there's going to be ups and downs along the way. You're going to have mood swings. Your hormones will play up a little bit. And yes, I cheated on my prep, but I'm not even going to call it cheating because I feel like that's very negative. I slipped up some days where I ate certain things they shouldn't have. It might not have been anything too crazy. It might have been, like a wheat bix extra or a few grams of oats more or some more pumpkin than I should have had. Very minor things in a general life, but for comp prep, it does add up. If you are consistently not following a program that you're given, then you're not going to get the best results. And so if I do another competition, which I know I will eventually because I love stepping on stage, my goal would be to have bigger glutes, bigger hamstrings, which was my feedback from the show. Try and have a better prep. So just limit the amount of times that I slip up. And I'm not going to say to not slip up at all because I know that it's inevitable. There's going to be a day or two during 16 to 20 weeks prep that you're going to slip up. And the most important thing I can say to you is to pick yourself up and move on. It is totally fine if you slip up. What is not okay is you cutting your calories the next day to try and make up for it, or telling yourself negative things about how you shouldn't have done that, and just all these awful things, how you dislike your body and you dislike what you did, and just all these mean things. That's not okay. Pick yourself up, move on, smile, get to the gym and kill it. When I binge, how do I handle it and how do I feel? So a lot of people say, oh my god, I binge ate, and they might have just eaten an extra mandarin or an extra banana, and it's minimal. If I binge, it's to the point where I can't stop eating, and before you know it, I've eaten like a loaf of bread, a whole box of cereal. I'm a carb person, so and then like a whole village. There's no stopping me. Oh gosh. For me, that's why I class a binge. A binge is when you are eating so much food, you should stop, you can't help it, and you just keep going. How does that make me feel? short term at the time, I'll be like, yum, this food is so good. And then straight after, I get this wave of guilt, feel absolutely awful. I look in the mirror, I tell myself all these negative things. And what good does that do me? Like, on what world is that okay? How is that going to help me? It's not going to delete the calories I just ate. You can't do that. So the best thing that you can do if you have binge is, again, pick yourself up, realize it's a mishap, take note of how it makes you feel, take note of what you ate. Were you binging because you were hungry and you were actually starving yourself, you weren't eating enough? Were you bored eating? Were you lower in something else that you should have had? Should you have had another meal but you didn't have it, so then you end up eating a whole lot of food? There's a lot of different reasons for binges to happen. Sometimes it's literally just you want to eat more food, so you start going crazy on it. So what you could try and do is find a healthier alternative. So if you were thinking, oh, I'm gonna go crazy and have this whole loaf of bread, could you substitute that for something else? Do you like fresh fruit? Maybe you could have an apple instead, because sometimes I'll find that I can easily replace the food that I'm craving with a lower calorie based food. So instead of a loaf of bread, I might have 2 apples and I'm happy. Or instead of eating a whole box of cereal, I might be happy just having some defrosted raspberries with some sweetener. Find a lower calorie alternative. If you do it and it's too late, there's no going back, just move on. Don't go to the gym and try and kill yourself there. Don't try and slash your calories the next day, because you're likely to slash them and then the following day just go crazy anyway and do worse than you would have done if you had a little binge. That's just my opinion. I'm not a medical doctor. If you do have any issues with food, I recommend speaking to someone professional that can help you, of course. Also, before you're thinking about overeating and calories, remember how you feel and how you felt the last time that you did that. I find that that usually can sometimes be enough to put me off. Any tips on binge eating? Well, I just gave you guys a whole lot of tips, so I hope that helps. In terms of competing, a few other things that I want to cover. Think about everything that comp is going to cost you. Of course, you need a coach. Unless you're amazing, you can do it yourself. You need a coach for training, nutrition, and if you can, get one that does posing as well, because then you get all 3 in one, which is amazing. It saves you money. So for me, I had Rachel. She did my posing, she did my training, my nutrition. Then you're going to need to look at where the competition is. Is it in your hometown? Is it overseas? Is it in another city? Are you going to need flights, petrol for a car, a rental car, hotel, all these different things. So you've got all the accommodation side of things. Then if you're with WBFF, it's amazing because they recommend you your tan, your hair, makeup and all of that, and they have it there on the day, so you just go through there. But you need to think about the price of tanning, hair, makeup, jewelry. I actually only wore earrings, I didn't have any other jewelry. You've got heels, you've got the bikini itself. My bikini cost me $600. Absolutely loved it. It was custom made. Again, you don't have to get a super expensive one. WBFF is very glamorous though. Then you've got dress. I recommend hiring a dress. I got mine from Glam Corner in Australia. It was just a rental. You don't have to spend $700 or $1,000 on a dress. You also don't have to spend hundreds on a bikini. You can compete if you are smart about how you do it. And I absolutely loved my comp. I wouldn't change a thing. I can't think of anything else. Yeah, I think that's everything. So this is a very long vlog. Thank you so much for listening. I just want to keep it very real with you. Competing was the most amazing thing I could have done for myself. It was one of the highlights of my achievements so far. It was just a big mental and physical challenge for me. It really took myself to the next level, and I absolutely loved it. If you do get the opportunity to compete in your fitness journey, I highly recommend it. Go out there and have fun. When you are backstage, make sure you're nice to everyone. There's no reason for any cattiness. Every single person that is stepping on that stage deserves to be there, just like everyone that steps foot in a gym deserves to be there. Everyone is out there to look the best and feel the best version of themselves. No time for any of this nastiness. I really hope this video helps you. If you have any questions at all about competing, I'm sure I've missed a lot, just please drop a comment below and I promise to respond as soon as possible. I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Thank you for all the support. I can't wait to get into weekly vlogs. And as always, please remember to like, comment, subscribe, and smile.